We are back for episode 4 of The Driver's Seat. And if you had watched episode 3, you'd have seen Adam mention that BMW guy, and I contributed saying he's actually the unofficial fleet manager for many BMW owners, right? So without further ado, let me introduce our resident BMW expert, Arvind. Come, please join us. Have a seat.
No BMW expert lah, just made a lot of mistakes. That's all.
I see.
So I've been a host and now a guest on.
Of course, what a privilege.
Truly fortunate.
Yes. So before we get into the hot questions,
Yes.
tell us about your ride that we have here first.
This is my cruel mistress. She actually has a name. It's called Scarlet Rukumani. So don't ask why, but it's my. It's my race car, it's my fun car,
It's your weekend car lah.
my weekend car and my source of pain and
Of course.
fun and
Of course.
anguish and everything.
Okay, so this is your weekend car. So this is a 328.
This is a 1996 328i.
Okay, E36,
Yeah.
right, fair enough. So if this is your weekend fun car, mistress,
Yes.
what is your daily driver?
I actually have a 1996 Honda Accord.
Huh.
SV4, some people call it the Jerung.
Right.
So, yeah.
And that's got a VTEC.
That's got a VTEC.
Big VTEC also, right?
Yeah, there's 2.2.
2.2.
So, yeah, some people call it the Big V.
Okay.
But yeah, that's actually been I actually picked it up as a project as I did this, and it's actually been really good. I've done some work to it, but it's actually been really reliable, and aircon works. It's not comfortable because it's got a set of springs that are way too stiff for it. But
Right.
other than that, yeah, I mean, 90s Japanese technology is,
You're already known as the BMW Fleet Manager among many circles that we are
Yes.
both part of.
Yes.
Are you also looking to expand that to be the JDM Fleet Manager now, maybe?
Not really. I don't think I can. I can afford that.
Right,
Like I said, I've made mistakes, and that has allowed me to kind of guide other owners that I know of or friends that so don't make those mistakes.
Sure.
And so just sort of teach them. So I guess a lot of people are like, hey dude, can you handle my car? Can you take my car to the workshop? And that's how the term fleet manager came
about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I currently, although own just one, I maybe care for 8 other BMWs. And
So if you're looking for a BMW Fleet Manager, Arvinda might be open for business. Might. Please check with him
Actually,
first. Okay.
once I had my daughter, I really don't have.
Okay,
the
he's closed for business. Sorry, don't go to him. He's closed. Right,
But on the issue of JDMs, I grew up. We all grew up loving JDMs, the Skylines, the Supras, the VTECs, and everything. So yeah, I mean, I would always like to have one JDM. Or
Okay, so since you said that, now between all the JDM models that you have reviewed,
Yeah.
that you have written about, right? Now, if money was no option,
right.
which would you want to have in your porch, your garage?
Japanese.
Yeah,
Japanese.
of course.
Has to be Japanese.
Yes.
Wow. That kind of threw me off. Japanese cars.
Is there like a BMW Japanese car?
I haven't test
So
driven.
we got support. So one side asking, is there a Honda?
It's a
BMW.
Honda. It's
BMW?
Japanese
or the
market
Japanese
BMW.
BMW.
Yes.
I haven't really tested that. But
You had the Type R recently.
Yes, and that is.
If
the
money was not an object, would
Civic
you
Type
have
R.
it in your?
Absolutely.
There you go.
FK8 Civic Type R. It's a glorious bloody car to drive, and it's that balance of power and precision and road holding, and it's just an amazing car. I just get all
Yeah,
fluttery and
I had a
when
bit
I
of
talk
a,
about
I
that
had a
car.
bit of a drive in it. I mean, I can understand the whole oral experience, the how basic it felt really driving the car, because you felt everything in the car.
Yeah, it's that inherent simplicities of Honda.
Yes.
If you look at an old Honda Civic EG or EK or something, and then they can keep up with like new cars. It's
course,
just because they're
course.
simple, they're light, they have
They got the
beautiful
basics
chassis,
right, yeah.
and enough power
Yep.
that they're still competitive even on racetracks or grassroots racing series these days. So there's something about how Honda keeps it simple that I like. They don't
Okay.
overcomplicate it.
Okay. Now nicely into our next question.
Yeah.
So you've been with Carlist a couple of years now.
Yep.
You've gone for media drives, whether locally or abroad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you have to pick one that was most memorable,
Yeah.
right? Which one would it be and why?
Yeah, so I've been fortunate enough to go abroad and all that, but I suppose the one that I had the most amount of fun with was the Isuzu MUX media drive. Now, for two
Okay,
reasons.
okay.
So the MUX, as you know, is this 7-seater
Yep, yep.
SUV that is
Yes.
based on the platform of the Isuzu D-Max. So
Yep.
it's a robust vehicle, very well built, but it's not something you would think is a driver's car, right?
No, you wouldn't.
So Isuzu decided to take us, a bunch of these mammoth big SUVs up to Cameron Highlands.
Right.
And they chose the Sungai Koyan Road.
Right.
Your Tauge boys will know this.
Right.
It's this epic strip of tarmac that ascends into the hills, and doing it in a 7-seater SUV, 2.5 diesel, which had just enough power, but it was just like it was everywhere. And I had good teammates with, there were other journalists and
Sure.
all that, but they were fun guys, and we were just laughing the whole way. The
Right.
car is amazing. It's well built. I don't know if they sell it anymore, but it was just something that I could never forget now. And just going to Cameron Highlands, which is such a beautiful place, and we had beautiful hospitality, food there, and all that. So I think that was just in 7 years of doing this, I think
Right.
that was the most memorable.
Right.
That I would
I
just
wouldn't
because I had fun.
I wouldn't have expected that. I mean, because you've been on drives to Portugal,
US.
to the US
Germany,
and Cameron Highlands.
Cameron
There
Highlands.
you go.
And Sungai
Okay.
Koyan.
And
so
Sungai Koyan,
the
yeah.
very best is right here.
Yeah. Okay. So speaking about chucking cars around corners,
Right.
In your spare time, you also time attack this 36.
Yeah.
Right. So from your experience thus far, right, what are the bare essentials you would need in order to take the car
Mm-hmm.
and put it in a time attack competition?
Right. So I'm not a professional, but based on the limited experience that I have, it has allowed me to learn a lot.
Sure.
I think the most important thing is, first just run whatever car you have. It's fine. It's not. It doesn't have to be some 400 horsepower all-wheel drive Evo or something like that. You can run a Kalisa. It's perfect. The most important things I would say is have good brakes.
Sure.
So your car stops.
Sure.
Have a decent amount of tires left. If you don't have the budget to buy performance tires or anything, just have a good set of tires, all 4 of the same tread and everything, so that the car is predictable when you want to turn in and you're coming out of a corner and all that. It's not going to snap at you and things
Sure.
like that. That would be on the car side. Okay, if you want to take it a step further, maybe springs, anti-roll bars, things like that. But if you just have a car, good tires, good brakes. Make sure your pads are good, make sure your disc is good, and good tires. With regard to yourself, I would say is have a good shoe.
Sure.
You
Traction.
Can, there are racing shoes, but if you
Yep.
can't, then a good pair of grippy,
Flat bottom,
bottom sneakers.
Yep.
Pumas do very good casual shoes that
Sure.
actually double up very
Sure.
well when driving.
Yeah.
And gloves, if you
Okay.
can. Any gloves, cycling gloves, whatever, as long as they have good grip,
Yep.
in the palms,
Yeah.
that will work, And the last thing is, I suppose, don't go out there thinking like you're going to set a fastest lap or your personal best when you're first out.
Go there and
outing.
have fun.
Go there, have fun.
Yeah.
And another thing I would like to add is go slow, because the moment you go fast, you're doing too many things at one time. So focus on your braking, focus on being smooth throughout the corner and coming out these, you don't want the car to snap around.
Sure.
So when you take it slow, you actually learn more things as you go along, rather than just going banshee and you're messing it up and
Of course.
you can't repeat it.
Yeah.
And so always just go slow and slowly build that pace.
Right.
If your track days or whatever allow it, I think just go slow and really enjoy it. That's the motivation for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sage advice, you probably won't hear it anywhere else, right? But Arvind said, in order to enjoy your time attacks or your track days, start slow and slowly build it up. which I think is fair advice.
You get caught into the whole thing. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I've got an empty track in front of me. I'm going to
Yeah.
go crazy.
Yeah.
And then you miss your braking point, and the car goes off into the grass.
Gravel,
and-
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
You've not learned anything. there,
Exactly,
you know,
true.
so-
Valid. Okay. Okay, so you're also our resident expert on resale values.
Yep.
You do a lot of car resale values.
Yeah.
We did one recently comparing the 4 darling brands of Malaysia.
Yeah.
Now, if it were up to you and resale value was the main consideration
All right.
or the only consideration,
All right.
which car would you buy and why?
Personally, a Honda, because I
Okay.
and specifically the Honda City, because
Okay.
it's just a very,
Which gen?
yeah, the current one's going out of production.
Okay.
The new one's coming. Oh, it's already here actually.
Yeah, it's already
So,
here, exactly.
Yeah, I would get a Honda City. It's such a well-rounded, competent car. It's spacious for 4 adults. It's got a huge
Yeah.
boot.
Yeah.
It's economical. It's nice to drive. It's actually quite nice to drive. It's comfortable. So, it qualifies as a dream car, to be honest. So, and
Nice. Okay, now 3-car garage. You said the Honda City qualifies as a dream car.
Yes.
In your 3-car garage, what
Yes.
3 cars would be there?
Okay, I'll give you 2 definitive ones.
Okay,
right?
fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
The third one is a toss-up.
Fair enough.
So the first one is a Singer 911 Porsche. There has to be a Porsche.
Okay.
The
Okay.
Singer company actually uses those older bodies, and then they call it resto mod, or what they update it with technology,
Sure.
and it becomes drivable, and it's just beautiful. It's jaw-droppingly beautiful. So I love the Singer 911s. That will always be there. Probably the second would be a Honda NSX type
Okay.
car.
Okay.
Has to
Okay.
be a manual.
Okay.
I love the Honda NSX because I still think the new Toyota Supra is very close, but I think the Honda NSX is probably the most beautiful car to ever come out of
I
Japan.
wouldn't disagree with you, to be fair.
I mean, yeah, it came out and it also represents that high time or that high watermark
Yeah,
of
the halcyon
Japanese,
days of
Japanese
Yeah.
technology. You know, I
Yep.
mean, in more recent time, you find the technology race has sort of equalized itself because you get third-party companies, and now with connectivity and hybridization and everything,
Yep.
it's sort of becoming a very close race. You know, it's a tit for
Sure.
tat game. Some
Sure.
are better at this, some are better at that.
Yep.
But I think in the 90s, especially the early to mid 90s, I think the Japs were just in a league
Sure.
of their own, in
Yep.
terms of value, engineering, quality,
True.
and fun, So I think the NSX is the epitome of that high watermark. So I would have to have a Honda
and
NSX.
the third one.
The third one is a toss-up
Between?
they're both wagons.
Oh,
You gotta
interesting.
have a wagon because there's
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
like what Adam says, they're just cool.
Yeah.
It
So
would be
RS6.
yes, Audi RS6 C7 because I think they got the styling on that.
Okay,
Just
okay.
Q carb, cool looking yet very
Yeah,
monstrous.
very imposing. Yes.
The other one is a BMW E61 M5 Touring. So yeah, so the E60 is sort of that unloved child, but
Yes. Yes.
I've had the privilege of driving an M5, E60 M5.
Mm.
That engine is to die for.
Okay.
Nothing makes a noise like that.
Okay.
Maybe a V10 Gallardo, but that's about it. And to have a V10 in a
Yeah.
wagon,
Yeah.
I mean, like, dude, that's like, yeah, that's why. So it's always a toss-up between the RS6
Okay,
and the E61. So.
Understood. Okay. And there you have it. Arvin's 3-car garage. We're gonna go at him now with the speed test,
Right.
and we'll see how he reacts. Okay. So speed test.
Right.
I
here
give
we
you the
go.
options. You let me know which one it is. Okay for you?
Oh, so it's an objective. thing.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive,
Rear
SUV or sedan,
sedan.
road trip or sex.
Road trip.
What is it with car guys and road trip? Honda or Toyota?
Oh, that was God. This is like God. I'm gonna say Honda. I'm sorry.
Okay. Ulu Yam, Kuala Kelawang.
Kuala
Oh.
Kelawang. Any day, Kuala Kelawang.
And
But I would appreciate less. But, I mean, the cyclists go to Uluyam lah. We leave the cars to.
not part of the script. But that was Arvin in the hot seat. You heard his answers. And that brings us quite nicely to the end of episode 4 of the driver's seat. Thank you for joining us, Arvin.
No worries.
Right? Who's coming up next? You tell us if there's anyone you'd like us to have on the driver's seat. We might be able to get them on board. Till next time.
Bye.